you can use your money for cash flow, or you can use your stocks for cash flow. Nobody ever talks about this because people get to 60 and they sell their stocks, except for the wealthy people. The wealthy people never sell their stocks, but the middle class people get talked into selling their stocks. I'm not selling these companies. These companies, along with the other ones that I own, the Amazons, the Apples, the Google, I'm looking for companies that I can own for the rest of my life. The same way Warren Buffett bought Berkshire Hathaway in his personal portfolio in the 1960s, and he still owns it today, 60, 70 years later, whatever. I plan on owning these for the rest of my life, and they could be handed down to my children. So now I look at it and say, okay, let me go back a little bit further, and let's say how I use these same two companies for cash flow. Let's say it was 2010, and I had the same $70,000. That's $35,000 in NVIDIA, $35,000 in Broadcom. The only difference is this time I am selling 5% of each company per year for cash flow. So 5% per year being sold for cash flow. Now, dating back to 2010, there's a lower rate of return of 37%, but you also add in the element of time because it's time, it's dollars invested, and it's the compound annual growth rate. So $70,000 invested January 1st, 2010, and this is also withdrawing 5% per year, would be worth $10.7 million as of December 31st, 2025, which, and over the same period, the benchmark, which is the S&P 500, if you invested $70,000 and withdrew 5% per year, it would be $249,000, which is one of the reasons why I much prefer owning businesses over the index, especially when you look at really good businesses. So the standpoint of how you look at it really, really matters. Now, if you look at this shows the cash flow. So this is basically the income that you're receiving each year from selling 5%. So 2010, it starts down at 4,000. Then there was a negative year, so it drops to 3,000 and 3,000. And as you can see, over time, the cash flow continues to increase. Now imagine this is in your Roth, or it is in my Roth actually, so I don't have to imagine. So imagine it continues to grow in my Roth like this. Now, these aren't the only two that I would do this. It would be done across the board with the other companies that I own. It could be 3%, it could be 4%, it could be 5%, it could be whatever. Whatever percentage I choose, but whatever percentage I choose, it would be done annually. So a lot of people say, well, if you withdraw 4%, you might be forced to sell when the stock market is down. I'm like, why? You only sell one time per year. So example, let's say at the beginning, let's say at the beginning of this year, I had $2 million and I said, I'm going to sell 5%. That means that 5% would be $100,000. I've already sold for the year. I don't care what the stock market does the rest of the year because I've already sold my 5%. That money can then be transferred to say a high yield savings account, or you can transfer it monthly to your checking account based upon what your monthly needs are. So you can see now in 2022, you can see there's a decline of 35%. This is going to happen. As I showed already, my Roth was down 33% in 2022, but it's still compounded at 25% on average. So it's all about the average per year, and especially if you're selling a set percentage. It's not about a dollar amount because it's based on percentages, and it all depends upon your percentage of growth. If your growth rate supersedes your withdrawal rate, especially by that amount, it's not mathematically possible to ever run out of money. Not only that, your money will continue to grow, which means your cash flow and your income will continue to grow.